everybody, I'm back with another home project because it never ends. It will never end. As long as you own a house, you can't get away from it. But what we can do is learn how to fix things and save a lot of money. That's the whole point. And it's kind of fun sometimes. While I was doing a video the other day testing a generator, I accidentally discovered a problem with some of my electrical for my well pump. I'll show you what I found. So over here, when I unplugged, oops, wrong one, here it is. When I unplugged the well, I noticed that, hopefully you can see that, this plug is pretty badly starting to melt. So it hasn't been conducting well. And in here, you can see it's been burning on the right side. I think you can see it. Unacceptable. So I'm going to replace that plug before it gets any worse, and I'll cut this cord off and replace it. You can't have that. I haven't really looked at the others that close, but they're much lower current draw, so I know they're not gonna have a problem. This one here. So this one looks very good. No problems there. This one's over here is just 120. The one that's gone bad is, that's a problem. Look at the cord frayed right there. Oh, jeez. There's another friggin' thing to fix. One thing after the other. Alright, so I'll have to buy another one of these. That I can't patch. This is a switched cord that works the fill valve here. So you have to have this special switch cord. Yeah, that goes into the float inside the aerator tank. Shoot, yeah, I gotta fix that too. Lovely. Anyway, today we're gonna tackle the bad plug here. We're gonna go flip some breakers, but I never trust how the breakers are labeled. You'll live longer if you don't believe how they're labeled. This is a simple, cheap meter I've had for a long time. It's made by Field Piece. Very reliable, and I don't use it for my work, but for home projects it's good. If you test leads, you can do everything with it. You can check amps, AC amps. It has volts AC, volts DC. Check microfarads for capacitors. It does temperature also, and ohms and continuity. So we can use this one to test it. This is another model that I use a lot for my work. It's a Fluke model. This is a model Fluke 325. It's true RMS. It's a little more accurate, and it's a lot more durable than the Field Piece. I have dropped Field Pieces before from heights and they did not survive it. I've dropped Flukes. They bounced off concrete and still work. They're just built a little tougher, but they also cost more. There's nothing wrong with the Field Piece, but for more intensive work, a Fluke, you can't go wrong. It's one model of many, many, many. And they both do the same job in this case. This is another low-cost voltage tester that can test up to 300 volts. So it's another option. So I'm going to use the little Field Piece to test this one. I know the power's on right now, so we're going to test it before and after. So this is just the grounding plug right there. So I want to go the two hots. These are 240 volts, and I'm reading 246 volts. Okay, so now I'm going to go, I can just leave those in there. I'm going to go and shut off the breaker and we'll test it again. 220 volt well. Looks like it's a 20 amp breaker. Did they label it correctly? I don't know, we're going to find out. Okay, let's test this again. Put it back to AC, or volts AC. Make sure those are in good. I'm reading nothing. Oops, gotta get my head right here. Oops. Reading nothing. So I'm gonna test each one to ground too, just to be sure. Okay. Power's definitely off. So now it's safe to continue. So we have to get this cover off now and take a look inside. Alright, let's unscrew this thing. Where can we put the screws where I won't lose them? Get in there. This little flippy lid kind of in my way, but I guess it serves a purpose. Another project I did a while back. I built this roof over the water equipment to make it last longer. Okay, there's the gaskets in good shape. Put that up there. And here is our troubled switch here. We'll go ahead and get this on out of here. Oh snap, look at this. It's worse than I thought. Look at that. This is all barbecued. No bueno. Fire risk, you name it. It's because they cheated the circuit here. You gotta be kidding me. Circuit cheaters. Alright. We got 120 amp circuit feeding the well pump and the pressure pump in the aerator tank. So this wire is in really bad shape, so I'm not even going to attempt to unscrew that. I don't want that wire, so I'm going to cut it back to good stuff. I'll just cut this over here. The ground's okay, we can reuse that. Alright, so this is completely shot. Wow. Danger, danger. Don't burn your house down, folks. This wire looks like 12 gauge. I guess that's okay for this, but look, you can even see bits of plastic that have been melting and dripping. Holy smokes. It's probably when I'm running my sprinklers. That's crazy. All right, let's fix this. Enough talk. Wait, get a look at the new outlet. This is a pretty good brand. Yeah, it only has screws, so that's okay. So I know I need to strip back a good amount. You might ask, how do you know which wire should go on which side? Did you even pay attention? Well, no, I didn't pay attention because I don't have to in this case. This is 220 volt. So AC voltage alternates. Here in the United States, we use 60 cycles per second, so 60 times per second the voltage is changing polarity. so the wires can be on either side. It's going to change polarity on its own anyway. So now, okay, now I got to edit that out. What a dork. There's real electricians all over shrieking right now. The ground goes on the green screw. Oops. Gold and gold. Hope I had my head right all this time. If it's gold, that's a hot. If it has a neutral, it'll show a, is that one good? It'll show a gold wire. Oh, that's loose. Judas Priest, just one thing after the other. Need something skinny. This will do. I have to edit this later to make me look cool. Right now it's not looking too cool. Yeah, that's not helping me much. All right. Some more editing to do. Make sure the insulation doesn't get under the screw. Yeah, that's good. I am unimpressed with how this is set up. I mean, I've seen worse. It's definitely not the worst, but I like stuff done right. I don't normally put ground screws or hot line voltage wires. I don't normally put the ground wire on a line voltage terminal. Never done that before, but I did it today on camera. All right, so this screw here was loose. Uncool. Good thing it's a low amp draw circuit. Even the ground was loose. Holy smokes. All right, get back in there. I highly recommend you do not use power tools in these kinds of things, because this is all plastic we're drilling and screwing into. That would be a poor choice. You damage it in a hurry. Okay, we want to make sure the grounds do not sneak over and touch any hots. So it looks like it's going to be fine. Go ahead and pass a little bit there. Can't believe that was all melted. That's a little spooky. That runs my 240 volt well pump. Sprinklers run a lot, so that pump gets lots of use. It may not even be getting proper voltage with a bad connection like that. So that's not good. Alright, we'll fine tune that later, but let's see how this fits. That'll tell us what we need to do. Get off of there, spiders. Should be a hole there somewhere. Yeah, they didn't have this lined up too great, did they? neighbors out doing some weed whacking. I've been blessed. I've got great neighbors. I live around a lot of really good people. I'm probably the worst one in the neighborhood. That didn't take. Oh, bugger. Fine, we'll do a different one. There's only so much memory on the camera card, and here I am fighting these screws, burning up video. Okay, all back to normal here. Looks like these guys are asleep, right? Okay. Next, I've got a melted plug and I don't like it, so I'm gonna cut it off. And we're gonna put a new plug on. I look for the entire cord. They don't sell just the cord, so I definitely don't want that. Yeah, it's got enough cord, yeah. Get rid of this. Yeah, you don't need a whole lot for these plugs. Should probably use a knife for this, but if I cut too deep, yep, I damaged it, so we gotta be a little more gentle than that. So another way you can do it is take a knife and just make gentle little cuts. Ah! No, just kidding. Don't do that. One day I'll ask a pro the best way to do this kind of cable. They call this SO cable, I believe, is one name for it anyway. Get that off of there. For this type of a plug, you don't need a whole lot. Yeah, there. And but you do need your screwdriver back that you just put away. Okay. There we go. I was centering the camera the best I can. Seriously, how long is this screw? Okay. Set that aside for a second. We gotta run the cable through this plug. This is pretty easy stuff to do. If you can see it. Oh, okay. Jeez. Promise you I'm not inept. It just looks like that right now. Okay, just slide that back out of the way for a little bit, and oops, not that. I need to strip these wires here. This is 12 gauge, so we'll use the on here. It tells you 10, 12. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little out of focus. Anyway. Do it now, believe me later. Stripping all these wires back. They're pretty short, but they don't need to be very long. So the flat blades, oops, not in the camera, sorry about that. The flat blades are the hot 120, 120, together is 240, roughly or thereabouts. And the half moon rounded one is the ground. So we'll start with the ground since it's the most important to keep everybody alive. Slide that on in there. And then we've got the two hots. I got to get in there. Oops, 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 oops. There we go. Nice and tight. Now we'll get the last one in there. The white and the black wires with 240, it just doesn't matter which one goes where. But if you see a gold screw, if the part you're working on has a gold screw and the other one is a silver, you might have the wrong plug. It might be for 120 volt circuits, and then white must go to the silver if it's a 120 volt circuit. Then it's pretty important to get it right. Just snugging these up a little bit more here. Alright, so then put this back up here, and it has a notch. At least they usually do. Yep. See that little notch right there? Right there. Well, hopefully you can see it. Anyway, that will line up to, there it is right there. Can't really see it on the camera, but it's there. Then screw these in to hold everything together. Then you just tighten down the strain relief. This is not waterproof like the old one. The old one was pretty much waterproof, but I don't care because I'm undercover here. I'll go a little tighter. If you really wanted to waterproof it, you could silicone it. But I'm not worried about this one. There is our new plug. So let's plug it in, turn the power back on, and test it. Oh, nice and tight too. That felt much better than the old plug. Okay, we're all back together. I'm gonna go ahead and test it. The power's back on. Make sure our well pump works. It's got pressure right now, so I have to run it a bit. There we go. Force the pump to come on. I can always hear it. This is exciting, huh? Pressure switch is down here, and that cable gets its power up here. It's incredible, it has not clicked yet. There it goes. Holy smokes, that would never turn on. Excellent. It's pumping up, pressure's increasing. It's already done. All right, excellent. So I feel a lot better about that. Electrical is not something to mess around with. You gotta check these things once in a while, and I only found that by accident while checking the generator. All right, job well done. Many more to go.